I used to do prayers in front of abortion clinics. I did a lot of it. And I would just be praying the Jesus prayer the whole time. Or certain psalms that are sort of pro-life psalms in my mind. And there was this one place, it was called Robinson's. It's gone now. It was down by that medical complex where there's Southwestern and all that stuff. And it was in such a situation that the people had to walk right past us on the sidewalk to get to the door of Robinson's. And I never saw any bad interactions. People would say hello to us and stuff like that. And nobody ever accosted anybody. I never heard anybody yelling, "You're a murderer," or any of that. None of that. So all that stuff that the left and the crazy people want to say is done in front of abortion clinics, I never saw any. I just saw kindness. I never saw one altercation ever. But I would see them walking, and generally there was a woman who looked very sad, kind of nervous, and there was somebody that was holding her shoulder, either behind her or right next to her, but that was physically holding her shoulder. Almost looked like she was being pushed into the clinic. It was usually, it was often, looked like a mother or a grandmother. And oftentimes I just saw what I thought was the father sitting in a car across the street smoking a cigarette waiting. They never came in with her. They never came in with her. They always had somebody else do it. And then I'd see the woman come out later, and they'd come out through the back, but we could see them then come up to the parking. They'd have to still cross us. And their eyes were dead. There was a deep, deep black sadness in their eyes. I saw this again and again and again and again. And I never believed really that, of course, what the world wants you to say is that I'm pro-choice. I never believed that a lot of women were making free choices. Many times they're making a choice that somebody else is making for them. You know, a mother saying, "You've got to get rid of this child because you're in school," or a boyfriend saying, you know, it's not right time for us, or whatever it is, right? So many times I saw that played out because I saw a woman that didn't look like she wanted to walk through the door. And then after, an hour and a half, she comes out and her eyes, they were like dead. So I've seen that personally. And I think as Christians, we have to confront that. Don't listen to the lies about abortion. It's not about choice. It's about choosing life or choosing death. And when a woman chooses death either on her own or she's forced to choose death, then there are repercussions in the soul about that. Terrible repercussions. And the only way to be cleansed of something like that is to be able to admit it. It's a hard thing to say, "I killed my child. I don't want to get the shirt that says I shouted out my abortion." People wear those things, because they have to convince themselves that what they did was good. What they did was praiseworthy. It's not praiseworthy, but it's also not something that should be condemning them. They just need to be sorry. They need to make amends in their heart. They need to say, "I'm not going to have another abortion. I'm also not going to be promiscuous in a way, in any way, that obviously can lead to more pregnancies. I'm going to not do this because this is not only against God's law, but it is against human life. It's against my life. Because if I don't live in a godly way, I can't have any happiness." So golly, we got a big rant from that, didn't we?